I told my husband I'd inherited $500,000 from an aunt I'd never met. It was a complete lie, a trap, a test I'd designed after 3 months of paranoia and 2 glasses of wine with my friend Sarah, who said, "You need to know for sure. Test him." So I did, and I wish I hadn't. My name is Emma Richardson. I'm 34 years old, marketing director at a tech company, married to Marcus Richardson for 4 years, together for 6. We met at a coffee shop. Cliche, I know, but he spilled his latte on my laptop, offered to pay for repairs, insisted on taking me to dinner to apologize properly. 3 dates later, I was in love. He was everything Jason wasn't. Jason, my ex, the man who'd spent 2 years borrowing money from me for his startup, who'd emptied my savings account the day he left. $30,000 gone, along with my ability to trust anyone. Marcus was different. Stable, software engineer with a good salary, paid for dates, never asked for money, never even looked at my bank statements when they came in the mail. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps others find these stories. Perfect. Too perfect, maybe. That's what Sarah said. Nobody's that perfect, Em. He's probably hiding something. At first, I ignored her, but then small things started bothering me. Marcus had become distant, coming home later, taking calls in the other room, changing his phone password. Classic signs, Sarah said. He's either cheating or planning something. Test him, see what he really wants. So I created the inheritance lie. Spent a week building the story. Aunt Margaret, Mom's older sister, estranged for 30 years over some family drama, died suddenly in Arizona, left everything to her only niece, me. I practiced in the mirror, got the tears right, the shock, the overwhelmed gratitude, made it believable. On a Wednesday evening, Marcus came home from work. Normal day, normal routine. He kissed me hello, asked about my day, started making dinner. I waited until we were sitting at the table. Pasta, wine, candles, domestic bliss. "Something happened today," I said. He looked up. "Good something or bad something?" I'm not sure. I got a call from a lawyer in Phoenix." His expression didn't change, just curious. "Phoenix? Yeah, it's about my mom's sister. Margaret, I've never met her. Didn't even know she existed until today." "What about her?" "She died 2 weeks ago, and apparently she left me everything." Now I watched for the flicker, the tell, the moment his nice guy mask would slip and show what he really wanted. "I'm sorry for your loss," Marcus said, voice even, calm. "I never knew her. Still family, still a loss." "Marcus, you're not hearing me. She left me everything, her estate, her accounts, everything." How much is everything? There it was, the question, the one I'd been waiting for, the proof that he cared about the money. $500,000. Silence. He set down his fork, looked at me, really looked at me, and his face showed nothing. No excitement, no greed, no calculation. Just calm. Strange, unsettling calm. "When exactly did you find out about this?" he asked. "Yesterday. The lawyer called yesterday." He nodded slowly. "Yesterday. Interesting timing." "What do you mean?" "Nothing, just interesting." He picked up his fork again, continued eating. "What are you planning to do with it?" "I don't know. I haven't processed it yet. It's a lot of money." "It is." "You don't seem surprised or excited or anything." "Would you like me to be excited? About you inheriting money from your dead aunt?" "Most husbands would at least show some reaction." "What kind of reaction do you want, Emma?" The way he said it, the way he looked at me, like he knew, like he could see right through the lie. "I just thought you'd be more, I don't know, More something. I'm happy for you. It's a nice windfall, life-changing amount. He finished his pasta. You should probably talk to a financial advisor. Make sure it's properly managed. Then he stood, cleared his plate, went to the living room, turned on the TV, like I hadn't just told him we'd come into $500,000. I sat at the table, confused, frustrated. The test had failed. He'd shown nothing, given me no proof of anything except nothing. That night in bed, I couldn't sleep, kept replaying the conversation. His calm, his strange question about timing, his complete lack of enthusiasm. Maybe he was in shock. Maybe he'd process it tomorrow and show his true colors then. But the next morning, he was normal, made coffee, went to work, kissed me goodbye. Have a good day, Em. No mention of the inheritance, no questions, nothing. I called Sarah. The test didn't work. What do you mean? He didn't react at all. Just asked when I found out and then changed the subject. That's weird, right? Maybe he's playing it cool. Give it time, see what he does next. So I waited. Thursday passed. Friday, the weekend. Marcus acted completely normal, like I hadn't told him about $500,000. On Monday morning, I woke to find Marcus already gone. Early meeting. His text said, "Coffee's ready." I poured coffee, checked my phone, scrolled through emails. Then I heard the mail slot, envelopes hitting the floor. I walked to the front door, picked up the mail, bills, junk, and one large manila envelope, legal letterhead, addressed to me, from Peterson and Associates, estate attorneys. My hands shook as I opened it. Maybe it was about my fake inheritance. Maybe Marcus had called the lawyer to verify. Maybe I pulled out the documents, started reading, and my entire world tilted. Estate of Harold Richardson, deceased. Distribution to beneficiary Marcus Richardson. Marcus's grandfather, Harold. He'd died. I flipped through pages. October 5th, 6 weeks ago. I kept reading. Legal language, distribution of assets, bank accounts, properties, investments, total value of estate distributed to sole heir Marcus Richardson, $807,000. I read it again. Again. Marcus had inherited over $800,000 6 weeks ago, and he'd never told me. I sat on the floor, surrounded by documents, bank statements showing transfers, property deeds, investment portfolios, all in Marcus's name, all dated October 15th. 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks he'd known. 5 weeks he'd had this money. 5 weeks of secrets. While I invented a fake inheritance to test him, he'd been hiding a real one from me. My phone rang. Marcus? I stared at his name on the screen, let it go to voicemail. He called again and again. I didn't answer. A text. Emma, we need to talk. Are you home? I didn't respond. 20 minutes later, I heard his key in the door. He came in, saw me on the floor, saw the documents spread around me. I see you found the envelope, he said. What the fuck, Marcus? He closed the door, sat down across from me, calm, too calm, just like at dinner. I was wondering when you'd ask that. When I'd ask. You inherited $800,000 and didn't tell me. And you inherited $500,000 and lied about it. I froze. What? There is no Aunt Margaret, Emma. I checked, called your mom, asked about her sister. She doesn't have one, never has. You made up the inheritance. That's not... You were testing me, watching to see if I'd show greed, if I'd suddenly be interested in your money, if I'd reveal myself as a gold digger. How did you... Because I know you. I know you check my phone when you think I'm asleep. I know you go through my emails. I know you've been suspicious for months. So when you suddenly announce an inheritance from an aunt you've never mentioned, I knew. You were testing me. I couldn't speak. Couldn't defend myself because he was right. Just like I was testing you, he continued. What? My grandfather died 6 weeks ago. Left me everything, $800,000. I received it 5 weeks ago, and I didn't tell you because I wanted to see what you'd do if you'd ask about it, if you'd notice the money, if you'd show your true colors. You were testing me with real money? And you were testing me with fake money, so I guess we're even. We are not even. You actually hid $800,000 from your wife. And you actually lied about $500,000 to your husband. Which is worse? I stared at him. This man I'd married, this stranger sitting across from me. Why didn't you tell me, I finally asked, about your grandfather, about the money? Why keep it secret? Marcus sighed, looked away. Because of Ashley, your ex-wife. She married me when I had a good job. Director at a tech company, made 6 figures. She loved that, loved the house, the cars, the lifestyle. I know this story. Then you know what happened when I got laid off. When the company downsized and I was suddenly unemployed, making nothing, job hunting for months. Ashley left within 6 weeks, filed for divorce, took half of everything even though we'd only been married 2 years. I'm not Ashley. Aren't you? You've been paranoid for months, checking my phone, my accounts, my behavior, looking for proof I'm using you. Just like you were used before. That's different. It's not different. It's the same. We're both damaged, both traumatized, both brought our baggage into this marriage. And instead of dealing with it, we test each other. We hide things. We look for proof we're right not to trust. He stood, walked to the window, looked out at our quiet suburban street. When my grandfather died, I thought, this is it. This is the test. If Emma asks about the inheritance, if she wants access to the money, if she suddenly becomes interested in my finances, then I'll know. She's like Ashley. Married me for security. For money. So you set a trap. Just like you did. This is insane. It is. But it's also us. This is what we've become. 2 paranoid people constantly testing each other instead of trusting each other. I looked at the documents scattered around me. Evidence of his secret, of his test, of our broken marriage. What do we do now? I asked. I don't know. What do you want to do? I want to know why. Why you really hid the money. Was it just a test, or was there more? He was quiet for a long time. Then, both. It was a test, but it was also, I wanted something that was mine, something Ashley hadn't touched, something from before her. My grandfather was the only person who believed in me when I lost my job, who told me I'd bounce back, who loaned me money without judgment, and when he died, when he left me everything, I wanted to protect it from anyone who might take it, even you, even your wife, especially my wife, because wives leave, wives take, wives hurt. So do husbands. We looked at each other. 2 wounded people who'd married each other hoping to heal, who'd instead infected each other with our damage. This isn't working, I said. No, it's not. What do we do? Marcus sat back down. We can try therapy, work through our trust issues, learn to be vulnerable instead of defensive. Or we admit we're too broken, too damaged, and we end this before we destroy each other completely. The thought of divorce made my stomach hurt, but the thought of continuing like this, testing, hiding, suspecting, made it hurt worse. I don't want to give up, I said, but I don't know how to fix this. Neither do I. We sat in silence, surrounded by evidence of our mutual distrust, our mutual damage, our mutual failure. That night we slept in separate rooms, for the first time in 4 years. The next morning, I called a therapist. Dr. Linda Chen, specialized in couples counseling. Had a cancellation for Thursday afternoon? Could we make it? I asked Marcus. He said yes. What else could he say? Thursday came. We drove to her office separately, met in the waiting room, sat on opposite sides, didn't speak. Dr. Chen was 50-something, warm but direct. No nonsense approach that I appreciated. She sat us down. Tell me why you're here. We both started talking at once, stopped, looked at each other. Emma, you start, Dr. Chen said. So I did. Told her about Jason, about the stolen money, about my paranoia, about the fake inheritance test. Then Marcus told his side. Ashley, the divorce, the hidden inheritance, his counter-test. Dr. Chen listened, took notes, didn't interrupt. When we finished, she set down her pen. You're both wounded, both carrying trauma, both projecting that trauma onto each other. We know that, I said. But knowing it and fixing it are different things. True. But you can't fix it if you don't understand the root cause. Emma, why did you test Marcus? Because I needed to know if he loved me or my potential money. But he's never asked you for money, never shown interest in your finances. So where did this fear come from? From Jason? No, Jason's gone, has been for 5 years. This fear isn't about Jason. It's about you. About your belief that you're only valuable if you have money. That people only stay if you can provide something. That love is transactional. That hit hard, harder than I expected. And Marcus, Dr. Chen continued, why did you hide your inheritance? To protect it, to see if Emma would ask about it. But she never knew about it. How could she ask about something she didn't know existed? I don't know. You set an impossible test, one she couldn't pass or fail because she didn't know she was being tested. Just like Emma set a test based on a lie. Both of you created scenarios designed to confirm your fears, not to prove them wrong, but to prove them right. Silence. You're both so afraid of being hurt again that you're hurting each other preemptively. You're destroying your marriage to protect yourselves from the possibility that your marriage might be destroyed. Do you see the problem? We saw it. Finally. Clearly. What do we do? Marcus asked. You learn to be vulnerable, really vulnerable, not vulnerable with tests and conditions, but vulnerable in a way that's terrifying. You tell each other your fears without armor, without defenses, without backup plans. That sounds impossible, like I said. It is, for most people. Most relationships don't survive this level of damage, but some do. The ones where both people commit to doing the hard work, the uncomfortable work, the work that requires you to trust before you have proof trust is warranted. And if one of us betrays that trust, then you deal with it like adults, like partners, not like trauma victims waiting for the other shoe to drop. We had 3 more sessions over the next 2 weeks, each one peeling back layers, each one revealing more damage, more fear, more pain. In session 4, Dr. Chen asked us to do an exercise. Tell each other the thing you're most afraid the other will do, the worst-case scenario. I went first. I'm afraid you'll leave me when someone better comes along, someone who doesn't bring baggage, someone who trusts you naturally, someone easier to love. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. I'm afraid you'll take everything and leave, like Ashley did, like everyone does. I'm afraid I'll give you everything, and you'll use it against me. Those fears are valid, Dr. Chen said. Based on your experiences, they make sense. But are they based on your current reality? Has Marcus shown any signs of wanting someone else? Has Emma shown any signs of wanting your money? No, we both said. Then where are these fears coming from? From before, I said. From Jason, from Ashley, from everyone who hurt us before we met each other. Exactly. You're living in the past, fighting ghosts, and in the process, you're making your present into your feared future. Session 5, Dr. Chen gave us homework. Go home, sit together, tell each other everything you've been hiding, money, thoughts, fears, passwords. Everything. Complete transparency. No secrets. That's terrifying, Marcus said. It should be. Vulnerability is terrifying, but it's also the only way forward. That night we sat at our kitchen table. Same table where I'd lied about the inheritance. Same table where everything fell apart. I'll go first, I said. I've been checking your phone for 3 months, every time you shower, every time you sleep, looking for proof you're cheating. I know. I've known the whole time. That's why I changed my password, not to hide something, but to see if you'd ask for the new one. You never did. I've been tracking your location too, through the app, checking where you go after work. I know. I see the notifications. I've been letting you, hoping you'd realize I only go to work, the gym, and home. I check our bank accounts daily, looking for withdrawals, for evidence you're hiding money or spending it on someone else. I've been transferring the inheritance in small amounts to different accounts, so you wouldn't notice the large sum and ask about it. I almost hired a private investigator to follow you, to get proof. I almost asked for a postnup to protect the inheritance in case you turned out to be like Ashley. We confessed everything. Every paranoid thought, every secret action, every test we'd created, every wall we'd built. By the end, we were both crying, but also lighter, like confession had released something toxic. I don't want to live like this anymore, I said. Neither do I. I want to trust you, really trust you, without tests or proof or evidence. I want that too, but I don't know how. I've spent 6 years protecting myself. I don't know how to stop. Maybe we learn together. Maybe. Session 6, we told Dr. Chen about our confessions, about the homework. Good, that's progress, real progress. Now comes the harder part. There's a harder part? Marcus asked. Vulnerability without proof. You've confessed your past actions. Now you have to choose to trust going forward, without guarantees, without safety nets. Just trust. What if one of us breaks that trust? Then you deal with it, together. But you can't prepare for every possibility. You can't protect yourself from every potential hurt. At some point, you have to jump, both of you, at the same time, and trust the other will catch you. Over the next 3 months, we practiced. Small steps, incremental trust. I stopped checking Marcus's phone. He gave me all his passwords anyway. Not because I asked, because he wanted to. Because transparency built trust. He told me about the inheritance accounts, showed me every transfer, every dollar, asked if I wanted joint access. I said no, it was his, from his grandfather, his to manage. We opened a joint account for household expenses, contributed equally, made financial decisions together. No secrets, no tests, just partnership. I told him about Jason, really told him. Not just the money, but the manipulation, the gaslighting, the way he'd made me feel worthless, how it had broken something in me. Marcus told me about Ashley, about the day she left, about how she'd said, "I didn't marry you to be poor," about how he'd felt like a failure, like his worth was tied to his income. "You're not your paycheck," I told him. "I don't care if you make 6 figures or $6. That's not why I married you." "Why did you marry me?" "Because you make me laugh. Because you remember my coffee order. Because you cry at dog movies. Because when I'm with you, I feel safe. Not financially safe, emotionally safe." Then why the test? Why the fake inheritance? Because I forgot. I got scared. I let Jason's ghost convince me that everyone's like him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, too, for hiding the money, for testing you, for letting Ashley's ghost convince me that everyone's like her. We're a mess, I said. We are, but we're our mess. And we're working on it. 6 months after the initial blow-up, we had a final session with Dr. Chen. "How are things?" she asked. "Better," Marcus said. "Not perfect, but better." "We still have bad days," I added. "Days where old fears come up, but we talk about them now. instead of testing, instead of hiding. That's all you can do, Dr. Chen said. Healing isn't linear. Trust isn't automatic. You'll have setbacks, moments where you want to protect yourselves. That's normal. The difference is what you do in those moments. Do you retreat or do you reach out? Reach out, we said together. Good, then you're going to be okay. We graduated from therapy. Didn't need weekly sessions anymore, but we kept the tools, the communication, the vulnerability. Marcus used part of his inheritance to pay off our mortgage. We discussed it together. He wanted to, said it felt right, giving us security, a home we fully owned. Are you sure? I asked. It's your money. It's our money. Everything I have is ours. Everything you have is ours. That's what marriage means. Not that I test you, not that you test me, that we share, we trust, we build together. The other part of the inheritance we invested, set up retirement accounts, college funds for future kids, emergency savings, all joint, all transparent. I never did get that fake inheritance from Aunt Margaret. Didn't need to, because I learned the real test wasn't whether Marcus loved me for money. The real test was whether I could love myself enough to be vulnerable, to trust, to stop protecting and start connecting. And that test, I'm still taking it every day, with Marcus together. A year after everything fell apart, we renewed our vows. Small ceremony, just us. On the anniversary of the day I lied about the inheritance, the day everything changed. I promise to trust you, I said, even when I'm scared, even when my past tells me not to. I promise to choose vulnerability over protection. I promise to be transparent, Marcus said. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when I want to hide, I promise to choose connection over safety. And we meant it, because we'd learned the hard way. Tests destroy relationships. Vulnerability builds them. But let me back up. Let me tell you how we got from that terrible Thursday, surrounded by legal documents and broken trust, to this moment. Because it wasn't easy, it wasn't quick, and it almost didn't happen at all. After that sixth therapy session, when Dr. Chen told us we were making progress, we went home and had our worst fight. It started over something stupid. Marcus left his phone face down on the counter. Old habit, innocent action. But I spiraled. Why is it face down? Who are you hiding? I'm not hiding anyone. It's just how I set it down. You never put it face down before. Emma, we literally just had therapy about this, about trusting without proof. I know I'm trying, but you're not trying. You're looking for reasons to doubt me? That's not fair. It's completely fair. We spend 6 weeks in therapy. We confess everything. We promise to trust. And the first time I put my phone down wrong, you accuse me. I didn't accuse, you implied, which is the same thing. I grabbed my coat. I need to go for a walk. Emma, I just need space. I walked for an hour, around our neighborhood, past houses with warm lights and normal families who probably didn't spend Thursday evenings dissecting their trust issues. When I came back, Marcus was on the couch, not looking at his phone, just sitting, staring at nothing. I'm sorry, I said. I'm sorry, too. This is harder than I thought. Yeah. I want to trust you. I do. But my brain keeps saying, protect yourself. Don't be stupid again. Remember, Jason. And my brain keeps saying, hide things. Keep secrets. Remember Ashley. We sat in silence, two broken people trying to be whole. Maybe we should call Dr. Chen, I suggested. It's 9 p.m. She said to call if we needed her. We need her. Marcus called. Left a voicemail. Dr. Chen called back 20 minutes later. Tell me what happened, she said. We explained the phone, the fight, the spiral. This is normal, she said. Expected even. Healing isn't linear. You'll have relapses, moments where old patterns resurface. The question is, what do you do when they resurface? We fought, Marcus said. But then what? I walked, I said. Then came back, apologized. And you're calling me. Instead of letting it fester, that's progress, real progress. The relapse isn't the problem. The relapse is part of the process. How you handle it determines whether you heal or break. So what do we do? Marcus asked. You keep practicing. Every day, small acts of trust, small acts of vulnerability, until they become habits, until they feel natural instead of terrifying. She gave us homework, daily exercises, tiny trust-building moments. Exercise 1. Every morning, tell each other one fear, just one. Something you're worried about that day. Be specific. Be honest. We started the next morning. I'm afraid you'll resent me, I said, for the fake inheritance, for testing you, for being so damaged. I'm afraid you'll leave, Marcus said, when someone better comes along, someone who isn't carrying my baggage. Neither of those things is happening today, I told him. Neither of those things is happening today, he repeated. Small moment, tiny vulnerability, but it helped. Exercise 2. Every evening, share one thing the other did that made you feel loved. Not I love you, specific actions, specific moments. First evening. You made me coffee this morning, I said, without me asking, just how I like it. That made me feel seen. You texted me at lunch, Marcus said, just to say hi, not to check on me, just to connect. That made me feel wanted. We kept the exercises daily, like medicine for our broken trust. But progress wasn't smooth. We had bad days, days when old fears came roaring back. 3 weeks into our new routine, Marcus came home late. Traffic, he said, construction on I-5. But I didn't believe him. My mind spiraled. He's cheating, he's lying. He's like Jason. I checked his location. Still showed the office, but what if he'd left his phone there? What if he was somewhere else? I called his work line, no answer, called his cell. Hey, what's up? Where are you? In the car, about 10 minutes away. Why? You said you'd be home by 6. It's 6:45. I told you. Traffic. I texted you. I checked my phone. He had texted an hour ago. Leaving now. Traffic looks bad. I'd ignored it. Been too busy spiraling. Emma, what's going on? Nothing. I got worried. Worried I was lying? I don't know, maybe. Silence, then. I'm pulling into the driveway now. Come outside. I did. He was in his car, in our driveway. Like he said. He got out, walked to me. I need you to hear this. Really hear it. I'm not Jason. I'm not lying. I'm not cheating. I'm just a guy stuck in traffic trying to get home to his wife. I know. Do you? Because your actions don't show that. Your fear shows that. Your mistrust shows that. I started crying. I hate this. I hate being this person. I hate that I can't just believe you. Then choose to believe me. Actively. Deliberately. Even when your brain is screaming not to. What if I'm wrong? What if you are lying? Then you deal with it. But you can't live your life assuming the worst. That's not living. That's surviving. And I don't want a marriage based on survival. I want one based on trust. He was right. I knew he was right. But knowing and doing are different things. We called Dr. Chen again. Emergency session. Saturday morning. Tell me about your childhood, Dr. Chen said to me. What does that have to do with anything? Humor me. Tell me about your parents, their relationship. They were fine, normal. Married 40 years before Dad died. Did they trust each other? I thought about it. I don't know. Mom always checked receipts, questioned where Dad went, who he talked to. I thought that was normal. It's not. It's anxiety. It's mistrust. And you learned that. You internalized that checking and questioning equals caring. But Jason actually did steal from me, so my mistrust was warranted. With Jason, yes. But you're applying Jason rules to Marcus, who isn't Jason, who's never stolen from you, who's never lied except to test you back. You're punishing him for Jason's crimes. She turned to Marcus. And you. Tell me about your parents. They divorced when I was 8. Dad left, remarried, started a new family. Forgot about us. So you learned. People leave. Love isn't permanent. Security is an illusion, I guess. And Ashley reinforced that. Left when things got hard. Proved your childhood belief. So now you protect yourself by hiding, by keeping secrets, by having escape plans. Is that so wrong? It's understandable, but it's also destructive. You're creating the abandonment you fear. By hiding things, you're teaching Emma she can't trust you, which will eventually drive her away, which will prove you were right. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We sat with that, the uncomfortable truth of our patterns. So what do? I asked. You break the patterns. Consciously, deliberately, every single day. You notice when you're spiraling. You stop. You ask, is this based on current reality or past trauma? And you act based on reality, not trauma. Easier said than done, but we tried. We really tried. Marcus started telling me things before I could suspect them. I'm going to the gym after work. I'll be home by 7. My phone is dying. If you can't reach me, that's why. I'm having lunch with Tom. We'll probably go to that pub on 5th. Small things, unnecessary details. But they helped. They showed me. He's not hiding. He's not sneaking. He's living transparently. And I started telling him my fears instead of acting on them. I'm having a bad brain day. I'm scared you're lying, even though I know you're not. Can you reassure me? I saw a charge on the credit card I don't recognize. Instead of assuming the worst, I'm asking, what was it? Small vulnerabilities, tiny acts of trust. They accumulated. We had financial transparency night once a week, every Friday. We'd sit at the kitchen table with laptops, go through every account, every transaction, every dollar. Marcus showed me his inheritance accounts, every transfer, every investment, every penny. This is in a high-yield savings account, 4.5% interest. This is in index funds. This is in bonds. This is emergency cash. It's all here, all documented. You can see everything. You don't have to show me all this. I want to. I need you to see. I'm not hiding money. I'm not planning to leave. I'm investing in our future together. I showed him my accounts too. This is my 401k. This is my savings. This is my checking. This is the money I spent on the fake inheritance lie. I hired someone to create fake legal documents. I'm sorry, that was stupid and expensive. How much? $200 for fake documents. I wanted them to look real. Emma, you spent $200 to test me instead of just asking if I was trustworthy. I know, it's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing, it's sad, because you didn't think I was worth a conversation. You thought I was worth a trap. That hit hard, because he was right. I'm sorry, I said. I'm so sorry for all of it, for testing you, for not trusting you, for bringing Jason into our marriage. I'm sorry, too, for hiding the inheritance, for testing you back, for bringing Ashley into our marriage. We cried, both of us, grieving the marriage we could have had if we'd been brave enough to trust from the start. We can't get back the time we wasted, Marcus said, but we can change what we do now, today, tomorrow, the rest of our lives. I want that. I really want that. Me too. We integrated our finances completely, joint accounts for everything. No more his money and my money, just our money. Are you sure? I asked when Marcus suggested it. I'm sure. This is what marriage should be. Not keeping score, not protecting yourself, just sharing everything. What if we get divorced? Then we split it 50-50, like adults, like partners. But I'm not planning for divorce. I'm planning for forever. And forever requires trust. We opened one account, put everything in it. Marcus's inheritance, my savings, both our paychecks, all shared, all transparent. It was terrifying and liberating. We started telling people, friends, family, about our crisis, our therapy, our healing. Sarah was shocked. You guys seemed perfect. We weren't. We were testing each other, hiding things, slowly destroying our marriage. But you're okay now? We are better. Not perfect, but better. We're working on it. What changed? We stopped trying to protect ourselves and started trying to connect. We chose vulnerability over safety. Marcus's brother Tom was less surprised. I told you hiding the inheritance was stupid. You did. I didn't listen. Because you were scared. I get it. Ashley fucked you up. She did. But I can't let her keep fucking up my current marriage. Emma isn't Ashley, and I need to treat her like she isn't. Good, because Emma's good for you. Don't lose her because of Ashley's ghost. We told Marcus's mom. She cried. I wish you'd told me about the inheritance, about Grandpa Harold. I could have helped you process it. I know, I didn't want anyone to know. Didn't want Ashley to find out and come back for money. Ashley's remarried. She's not coming back. Intellectually, I know that, but emotionally, I'm still that guy she left. That failure, that disappointment, you're not a failure. You never were. The company laying you off wasn't your fault, and Ashley leaving because of it was her failure, not yours. Hearing that from his mom helped. More than therapy, more than anything. We told my mom. She was defensive. I didn't teach you not to trust. Your father and I had a good marriage. Mom, you checked every receipt, questioned every late night, assumed the worst until proven otherwise. That's just being careful. That's mistrust. And I learned it. I thought that was love. Checking and questioning and testing. But it's not. It's fear dressed up as care. She was quiet. Then, maybe you're right. Maybe I did that. I'm sorry if I taught you the wrong lessons. I'm not blaming you. I'm just understanding where my patterns come from, so I can change them. We went to a workshop, building trust after infidelity. Even though neither of us had cheated, the principles applied. The instructor said, trust isn't given, it's built, brick by brick, action by action, day by day, and it can be destroyed in an instant. But rebuilding is possible if both people commit. We learned techniques, vulnerability exercises, communication strategies, conflict resolution skills. One exercise stood out, the 5-minute truth. Every day, set a timer, 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, you must tell your partner one complete truth. Something you've been afraid to say. Something vulnerable. Something real. No judgment. No response. Just listening. We tried it that night. My 5 minutes. I'm afraid I'm not enough, not pretty enough, not successful enough, not healed enough. I'm afraid you'll wake up one day and realize you could have done better. Could have married someone without baggage, someone whole. Marcus's 5 minutes. I'm afraid I'll fail you, like I failed at my job, like I failed Ashley. I'm afraid I'm fundamentally broken, that I don't know how to be a good husband, that you'll realize that and leave, and it'll be my fault again. We heard each other, really heard each other, our deepest fears, our most vulnerable truths. And instead of those fears pushing us apart, they brought us closer because we realized we're both scared, we're both broken, we're both trying, and that's enough. We continued therapy, monthly instead of weekly, maintenance sessions, tune-ups. Dr. Chen said, you're doing the work, real work. Most couples don't. They break and stay broken, or they break and blame each other. You're breaking and rebuilding. That's rare. It doesn't feel rare. It feels hard. Because it is hard. Vulnerability is hard. Trust is hard. Love is hard, but it's worth it. 6 months after the initial crisis, we had a setback. A big one. I saw a text on Marcus's phone, just a preview, from a woman named Sophie. Can't wait to see you Saturday. I froze. Who was Sophie? Why was she texting my husband? Why was she excited to see him? Old Emma would have spiraled, would have gone through his phone, would have created a trap. Tested him. New Emma took a breath. Marcus, who's Sophie? He looked up from his laptop. Tom's wife. Why? She texted you, said she can't wait to see you Saturday. Oh, yeah, Tom's having a birthday party, didn't I tell you? No. Shit. I'm sorry, I thought I mentioned it. Saturday at 6, his place. We're both invited. I felt stupid. Sophie was Tom's wife. Not a mistress, not a threat. Just family. I almost spiraled, I admitted. Saw that text and my brain went, mistress, affair, betrayal. But you didn't spiral. You asked, you communicated. That's growth. It doesn't feel like growth. It feels like I'm always one text away from falling apart. That's trauma. It doesn't go away overnight, but it's getting better. A year ago, you would have gone through my phone, created a fake scenario, tested me. Today, you asked. That's huge. He was right. It was growth. Slow, painful growth, but growth. We went to Tom's party. Sophie was lovely, warm, friendly, totally non-threatening. I felt ridiculous for my momentary panic, but I also felt proud. Proud that I'd handled it differently. Proud that I'd chosen communication over assumption. Small victories, they accumulated. By month 9, we were stable, not perfect, not healed, but stable, functioning, connected. We laughed more, fought less. When we did fight, we fought fair. No accusations, no assumptions, just, I feel X when you do Y. Can we talk about it? We had date nights, weekly, no phones, no distractions, just us, talking, connecting, remembering why we fell in love. One date night, Marcus said, I want to renew our vows. Why? Because the first time we made promises we didn't keep. We said in sickness and in health, but we didn't mean it. We meant as long as you don't trigger my trauma. That's dark, but true. I want to make new promises, real ones, based on who we are now, not who we were. Okay, let's do it. We planned a small ceremony, just us, on the anniversary of the crisis, the day everything fell apart so it could be rebuilt. We wrote our own vows. Specific, honest, vulnerable. Mine. I promise to trust you, even when I'm scared, even when my past tells me not to. I promise to ask instead of assume, to communicate instead of test, to choose vulnerability over protection. I promise to see you as you are, not as Jason was. I promise to build with you, not guard against you, his. I promise to be transparent, even when it's uncomfortable, even when I want to hide. I promise to share instead of hoard, to connect instead of distance, to choose openness over safety. I promise to see you as you are, not as Ashley was. I promise to trust with you, not protect against you. We said them to each other, in our living room. No witnesses, no celebration, just us, making promises we intended to keep. And we've kept them, mostly. Not perfectly, but mostly. 2 years later, we're still together, still working, still healing. We still have bad days, days when old fears surface, days when Marcus wants to hide something or I want to test something. But we don't act on those impulses anymore. We talk about them. I'm having a bad trust day. Can you reassure me? I'm feeling defensive. Can you give me space to process? And we do. We reassure. We give space. We show up for each other. Let me tell you about some of those bad days. Because healing isn't a straight line. It's not a motivational poster. It's messy and hard, and sometimes you backslide and have to start over. 3 months after we renewed our vows, I had the worst relapse. Marcus's company had a conference in Las Vegas. 3 days. He'd go alone. First time apart since the crisis. Are you okay with this? He asked when he told me. Of course, it's work. You should go. Emma, be honest. Are you actually okay? I'm trying to be okay. My brain is saying scary things, but I'm working on it. What scary things? The usual Vegas, strippers, gambling, infidelity, the whole cliche. I'm going to a software conference, not a bachelor party. I know. Logically, I know, but trauma doesn't listen to logic. What do you need from me? Check in, text me. Let me know you're okay, not because you have to, but because you want to. I can do that. He went to Vegas, and for the first day, I was fine. He texted in the morning, during lunch, before bed. Conference is boring. Miss you. Wish you were here. Day 2 started the same. Morning text, lunch text. Then, nothing. 6 p.m., nothing. 7, 8, 9. I called, no answer. Texted, no response. My brain spiraled. He's drunk. He's with someone. He's gambling away our money. He's proving I was right not to trust. By 11 p.m., I was convinced he was dead or cheating or both. I called hotels. Do you have a Marcus Richardson registered? They wouldn't tell me. Privacy policy. I called his brother. Have you heard from Marcus? No, why? He's in Vegas. He's not answering his phone. I'm worried. He's probably just busy, or his phone died. For 6 hours? Don't spiral. He's fine. He's at a conference. But I couldn't not spiral. Couldn't stop the thoughts. Couldn't breathe. At midnight, my phone rang. Marcus. Where the hell have you been? I answered. Emma, I'm so sorry. My phone died. The conference went late. We had dinner. I didn't realize how late it was until I got back to the hotel, and my phone was dead, and 6 hours, Marcus. You didn't contact me for 6 hours. I know. I'm sorry. I should have borrowed someone's phone, should have found a way. I got caught up and didn't think. Didn't think? We've been working on this for a year, and you didn't think to contact me for 6 hours? You're right. I fucked up. I'm sorry. I thought you were dead, or cheating, or gambling away our savings. Do you know what that does to me, that fear? I know. I'm so sorry. Sorry isn't enough. I hung up, turned off my phone, cried for an hour. When I turned my phone back on, I had 27 missed calls, 15 voicemails, all from Marcus. The last voicemail, Emma, please, please talk to me. I fucked up. I know I did. I should have been more careful, more thoughtful, more aware. You're not overreacting. You're right to be upset. I broke our agreement. I made you spiral, and I'm so sorry. Please call me back. Please let me fix this. I called him back at 2 a.m. I'm sorry, he said immediately. I know. No, really, I'm sorry. You trusted me enough to let me come here, and I violated that trust by not checking in, by letting my phone die, by not thinking about how you'd feel. I feel stupid for spiraling, for assuming the worst. You're not stupid. You're traumatized, and I triggered that trauma. That's on me. I don't want to be this person, this paranoid wife who can't handle her husband being out of contact for a few hours. And I don't want to be the thoughtless husband who makes promises and doesn't keep them. We are both works in progress. This is exhausting. I know, but we're doing it. We're working on it. We're not giving up. I wanted to give up tonight. Wanted to pack a bag and leave. Prove you right that I'd eventually leave like Ashley. But you didn't. You called me back. You're talking to me. That's not giving up. That's fighting. We talked for 2 more hours, until the sun came up in Vegas, until we'd processed everything, until the panic subsided and connection returned. I'm coming home early, Marcus said. There's a flight at noon. You don't have to do that. I want to. Conference doesn't matter. You matter. He came home. We held each other, cried, apologized again, recommitted. And we called Dr. Chen. Emergency session. Even a year into healing, we still needed help. What happened? Dr. Chen asked. We told her the Vegas trip, the 6-hour silence, the spiral, the reconciliation. Emma, what were you feeling when Marcus wasn't responding? Abandoned? Betrayed? Like I'd been right all along not to trust. And, Marcus, what were you feeling when you realized you'd triggered Emma? Guilty, stupid, like I'd undone a year of work in one thoughtless evening. You both fell into old patterns. Emma, you catastrophized. Marcus, you got careless. But here's what's different. You caught yourselves. You communicated. You repaired. That's what matters. But we shouldn't have to repair, I said. If we were healed, this wouldn't happen. Healing isn't about never making mistakes. It's about how you handle mistakes when they happen. You'll both mess up, repeatedly. For the rest of your lives, the question is, will you repair or will you let it break you? Repair, we said together. Then you're fine. Not perfect, but fine. And fine is enough. We left that session with a new plan. The disconnection protocol. If either of us would be out of contact for more than 3 hours, we'd establish a check-in schedule ahead of time. And if something went wrong, dead phone, unexpected delay, we'd borrow someone's phone, find a way to contact, no matter what. I can't promise I'll never mess up again, Marcus said, and I can't promise I'll never spiral again. But we can promise to keep trying, to keep repairing, to keep showing up. Deal. Another bad day came 6 months later. I saw a notification on Marcus's laptop, an email from a woman. Subject line, loved spending time with you. My heart stopped. I clicked, read the email. Marcus, it was so great catching up yesterday. I'm glad we can still be friends after everything. Looking forward to next time. Signed, Ashley, his ex-wife. The woman who'd left him, who'd broken him, who'd made him unable to trust. They'd met up, and he hadn't told me. I waited until he got home, tried to be calm, failed. Why were you with Ashley? He froze. You read my email. Your laptop was open. I saw a notification. Why were you with Ashley? It's not what you think. Then what is it? Because it looks like you secretly met with your ex-wife and didn't tell me. She reached out last week, said she was in town, wanted to apologize for how things ended. I told her no, but she kept asking, said she needed closure. So I agreed to coffee, 1 hour, public place. That's it. And you didn't tell me? I knew you'd react like this. Like what? Like a wife who's upset her husband secretly met with his ex? Like someone who'd assume the worst instead of giving me the benefit of the doubt. You hid it, Marcus. You made a choice to keep it secret. That's not me assuming the worst. That's you being shady. He sat down, rubbed his face. You're right. I should have told you. I didn't want to upset you. Didn't want you to spiral. So you lied by omission. I didn't lie. I just didn't mention it. That's the same thing. We fought. Really fought. Yelling, accusations, all the things we'd learned not to do. Finally, exhausted, I said, what did she want, really? Closure. She apologized for leaving, for how she handled the divorce, said she was in therapy, working on herself, wanted to make amends. And what did you say? I accepted her apology, told her I was married, happy that I'd moved on. Did you? Did I what? Move on, or do you still love her? Jesus, Emma, no, I don't love her. I haven't loved her for years. She destroyed me. You helped rebuild me. There's no comparison. Then why didn't you tell me about the coffee? Because I knew you'd react like this, and I didn't want to deal with it. I wanted to handle it privately and move on. But that's not how marriage works. We don't handle things privately. We're transparent. That's what we promised. He was quiet. Then, you're right. I broke our promise. I prioritized my comfort over your trust. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. You know how hard I've worked to trust you, and you threw that away for coffee with your ex. I didn't throw it away. I made a mistake, a big one. But I'm not having an affair. I'm not leaving you. I'm human and I fucked up. We sat in silence. Two broken people who'd thought they were healed, who'd realized they still had work to do. Dr. Chen's next session was brutal. You both violated the principles we've established, she said. Emma, you read his email without permission. Marcus, you met with Ashley without telling Emma. Both of you chose protection over transparency. But he met with his ex-wife, I said. And you invaded his privacy, Dr. Chen countered. Both actions broke trust. Both actions need to be addressed. So what do we do? Marcus asked. You decide. Is this marriage worth the continued work? Or are you both too damaged to do it? We looked at each other. 2 years of therapy. 2 years of progress. 2 years of trying. It's worth it, I said. It's worth it, Marcus agreed. Then act like it, both of you. Emma, stop looking for reasons to distrust. Marcus, stop hiding things to avoid conflict. You're both making this harder than it needs to be. We implemented more rules, more agreements, more structure. No contact with exes without discussion. No checking each other's devices without permission. No secrets, even uncomfortable ones. And it worked, mostly. We still had bad days, days when old patterns resurfaced, days when we wanted to give up, but we didn't give up. We kept going, kept trying, kept choosing each other. Year 3 of our healing, we had our first truly good month. 4 weeks without a fight, without suspicion, without fear. This feels weird, I said. Good weird or bad weird? Good, but also scary, like waiting for the other shoe to drop. What if there is no other shoe? What if this is just us? Healed? Are we healed? I don't know, but we're better. Isn't that enough? It was. It is. Now, 3 years after the crisis, we're okay. Not perfect, not healed, but okay. We still see Dr. Chen once a quarter. Maintenance sessions, check-ins. We still do our daily exercises, morning fears, evening gratitudes, 5-minute truths. We still have financial transparency night, every Friday, going through accounts together. And we still choose trust. Every day. Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Our marriage isn't what I expected. It's not easy, it's not effortless. It requires constant work, constant vigilance, constant choice. But it's real. It's honest. It's built on truth instead of tests. Marcus's inheritance? We used it, paid off the mortgage, invested the rest, built security together. My fake inheritance became a cautionary tale, a reminder of what we don't want to be. We tell our story sometimes to friends who are struggling, to couples in therapy, to anyone who will listen. And we always end the same way. Tests destroy relationships. Vulnerability builds them. Choose vulnerability. It's hard advice to follow. We know. We lived it. We're still living it. But it's the only advice that works, the only path that leads to real connection, real trust, real love. So that's our story. Not a fairy tale, not a romance novel, just two broken people who chose to heal together instead of break apart. The inheritance, both the real one and the fake one, was never really about money. It was about trust, about vulnerability, about whether we could choose love over fear. And we could. We did. We do. Every single day. One choice at a time. One act of trust at a time. One moment of vulnerability at a time. That's marriage. Not the wedding, not the vows, but the daily choice to show up. To be honest, to stay vulnerable, Marcus and I make that choice. Still, always, and will keep making it for the rest of our lives. Because that's what love is. Not a test, not a trap, but a choice. Made daily, made deliberately, made together. If this story helped you, share it. because too many relationships end over tests and mistrust. Too many people let trauma from past relationships destroy their current ones. You don't have to. You can choose differently. You can do the hard work. You can learn to trust again. It won't be immediate. It won't be easy. But it's possible. We're proof. And if we can do it, maybe you can too. Choose trust. Choose vulnerability. Choose love. Especially when it terrifies you. That's the real inheritance, not money, but courage. The courage to be vulnerable with someone who deserves it. And Marcus deserves it. I deserve it. We deserve it. So do you. Our marriage isn't what I thought it would be. It's not easy. It's not effortless. It requires constant work, constant vigilance, constant choice. But it's real. It's honest. It's built on truth instead of tests. And that's worth more than $500,000. More than $800,000. More than any inheritance. The real inheritance is this: the courage to be vulnerable, the strength to trust despite fear, the wisdom to know that love requires risk. Marcus gave me that. I gave him that. We gave each other that, and we're still giving it. Every day. One small act of trust at a time. That's our story. Not a fairy tale, not a romance novel. Just two broken people who chose to heal together instead of break apart. If you're in a similar place, testing your partner, hiding things, protecting yourself, I want you to know there's another way. It's harder, it's scarier, but it's worth it. Stop testing, start trusting, stop hiding, start sharing, stop protecting, start connecting. It won't be immediate, it won't be easy, but it's possible. Marcus and I are proof. Two traumatized people who almost destroyed their marriage, who chose differently, who did the work, who rebuilt. And if we can do it, maybe you can too. Trust is a choice. Every day, every moment, every interaction. Choose it, even when it's terrifying, especially when it's terrifying, because the alternative, living in fear, testing constantly, hiding perpetually, that's not a marriage. That's a prison you've built for yourself. And you deserve better. Your partner deserves better. Your marriage deserves better. Choose trust. Choose vulnerability. Choose love, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's what Marcus and I chose. And we're still choosing it. 2 years later, every single day, and we will keep choosing it for the rest of our lives. Because that's what real love is. Not a feeling, not a test, but a choice. Made daily, made deliberately, made together. 2 years later, we're still together, still working, still healing. Do I ever worry he'll leave? Yes, sometimes on bad days when old fears surface. Does he ever worry I'm using him? Yes, sometimes. When Ashley's ghost whispers lies, but we don't act on those fears anymore. We talk about them. We hold each other. We remind each other we're not them. We're us. And we're worth the risk. The inheritance, both the real one and the fake one, was never the real issue. Money was just the battlefield where we fought our deeper war, the war against vulnerability, against trust, against love itself, and we almost lost. Almost destroyed our marriage to protect ourselves from the possibility it might be destroyed. But we didn't. We chose differently. We chose to jump without guarantees, to trust without proof, to love despite fear. And that choice, that's the real inheritance. Not money, not security, but the courage to be vulnerable with someone who deserves it. Marcus deserved it. I deserved it. Our marriage deserved it, and I'm glad we finally figured that out before it was too late. If this story resonates with you, please share it, subscribe, comment, because too many relationships end over tests and mistrust. Too many people let trauma from past relationships destroy their current ones. You don't have to. You can choose differently. You can do the hard work. You can learn to trust again. It won't be easy. It wasn't for us, but it's worth it. Because love without trust isn't love. It's fear in a wedding dress. and life's too short to marry your fear.